The FBI is now calling the shooting of two Israeli embassy staff members an act of terrorism. The suspect in those shootings is accused of shooting that couple last night as they were leaving a celebration at the Jewish Museum for young Jewish diplomats.
Just in the last 15 minutes, charges were announced against the suspect, including 2 counts of first-degree murder and murder of foreign officials. Amber joining us now, and Amber, reaction pouring in from all around the world.
It really is, Lauren and Steve. We are seeing a lot of reaction today following that shooting. Governor Josh Stein, who is North Carolina's first Jewish governor, posted this statement on X. It says, in part, "I am saddened about last night's murder of 2 Israeli embassy staff in Washington, D.C. It says Anna and I are praying for their families and are grateful to law enforcement officers who immediately apprehended the suspect." And I also had the chance today to talk to a Durham rabbi about how wide-ranging the impact of this attack is.
You know, an attack like this, a murder like this at the Capitol Jewish Museum at an event of the American Jewish Committee is really targeting the entire Jewish community here in America. So we're feeling it personally. And right now, you know, hours after this news breaks, it's heartache mixed with outrage and a sense that we have to find ways to be stronger in this country.
And the Jewish Federation of Greater Raleigh also put out a statement this afternoon saying they are horrified at the murder of 2 people outside the Capitol Jewish Museum, saying they are working closely with the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington and its security partners to monitor the situation, gain a fuller picture of what transpired, and also keep our communities informed. Back to you guys.
All right, Amber, thank you. And we're also learning more about the suspect in that shooting. D.C. police say 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago was seen pacing outside that museum before the shooting. He then walked into the museum after the shooting.
ABC's Mayor Kawash joins us live now from the neighborhood where Rodriguez lives in Chicago. All right, Mayor, tell us about this. We know the FBI has been there searching. We know clues have emerged from that house, and we know you're talking to neighbors as well. What are you learning?
Well, these neighbors are pretty uneasy and anxious here today as they've seen the FBI just kind of tear through this neighborhood and this apartment building here behind me. They came away with so much evidence coming here since the early morning hours. Now, neighbors tell us they've come across this 30-year-old suspect, Elias Rodriguez, but they could only describe him as quiet and friendly.
FBI investigators pouring through this apartment building today, which is believed to be the home of the Washington, D.C. shooting suspect. The FBI telling ABC News it's conducting court-authorized activity, but would not offer any more details.
My neighbor was like, "It's crazy outside," so I went out for my morning walk and just saw the trucks and everything.
The flurry of activity is believed to be connected to the investigation of 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, who allegedly shot and killed 2 Israeli embassy staffers as they were leaving an event at a Jewish museum in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday night. ABC News spoke to Rodriguez's mother over the phone, and she confirmed that's her son, but declined to comment any further. One man tells us he lives right next door to Rodriguez in this apartment and says this entire situation represents the need for a ceasefire overseas.
Sad and disappointed. We have 2 people dead in D.C. We have 50,000 dead in Gaza. And how many children starved to death last night?
This man pointed out the window of where Rodriguez lives, saying it's right next door to his. In that window, you'll see a sign and photo of Wadia Al-Fayyoumi, the 6-year-old Palestinian American boy who was stabbed to death in 2023 by a man who's now convicted of murder and hate crimes. Meanwhile, neighbors are startled by the likelihood of living so close to the man now accused of this attack in D.C.
It's just a little surreal because I mean, I've seen his photo and I've never seen him, but it's just kind of surreal to imagine that somebody I see every day could have been that person.
Now, some of those neighbors told us that Elias Rodriguez had been living in this apartment with another woman, but they don't know what that relationship is with that woman. So we just saw investigators wrap up here. They took off that yellow tape from the entrance of that apartment building probably about an hour and a half ago. They came away with a lot of evidence, so everyone just waiting to see what comes from this investigation. For now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Mayor Kawash from ABC 7 Chicago, right there in the neighborhood that has become the epicenter of the FBI investigation.
Mayor, thank you. And David Muir will have more on that deadly shooting on World News Tonight at 6:30.